Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Crystal Flaffy, and today we're going to be talking about Sparkitt. I was going to be talking about a different mon today, but MSL just posted on their Facebook that Sparkitt is going to be the Rebirth mon coming back for Hero Fest and Clan Fest for this month, which Hero Fest is in a couple days, I think, in a little over 24 hours or whatever. So, figured I would get this done first so that people can have it ready before it starts and they can decide in advance which one they want. Sorry if you hear the squeaking of my chair. I'm trying to get myself more comfortable. Anyway, let's jump into it with Fire Sparkitt first, as always. As to who the other mon I was going to do, by the way, it's a secret. You have to wait until like tomorrow or whatever, whenever I upload it. But you can guess if you want, you can guess. But anyway, here's Fire Sparkitt. Here's the variant. I do like the variant more. Sparkitt is this cute little dragon thingy. Well, I don't know if it's a dragon I don't know what you would call it, but it's dragon-like, so I'm just going to call it a dragon. It kind of reminds me of Cherubimon from the Digimon movie. Because, like, weren't its ears, like, super big, like, kind of like hands, but not really? I don't know. But that's what it reminds me of. The rest of it looks nothing like Cherubimon, though, of course. But anyway, let's look at its stats. It's a tank, and it has pretty good HP and a defense as well. Its attack is bad, but it's okay. It's not meant for damaging anyway. Sorry, I had to pause for a minute. Somebody interrupted me and I lost my train of thought. Its HP and defense are good. Its attack it's okay, but it's fine because it's not meant for damaging, really. It's meant to tank. Looking at its skills, it has a stun, 100% 2 turns on crit on 3-star, and skill books give that a 25% damage boost. And on 5-star, it has blind, 70% 2 turns. Skill books bring that up to 80% and give a 20% damage boost. So the reason its attack being low isn't too bad is because you're going to build it with crit rate anyway. But that does make its HP and defense seem a little bit less good, only because you're going to have a whole gem dedicated to crit rate, because you do need a crit rate gem to make sure that it's activating its 3-star. It has the same problem for me that Water Share does. It just takes really, really good gems to get it built well, because you also have to factor in resist, because it is dominantly going to be used for PvP defense. Mind you, it is really good for that. It's just its gem quality needs to be pretty high. So you'd want your crit rate gem to have like a lot of resist substats, or defense and HP percent substats, and then for the other 2 gems I would go HP defense, and also those need resist and crit rate subs, just so you get it up to as close to 100% crit rate as possible and as close to 85 resist as possible. It'll be difficult to gem, but if you can gem it well, it'll do really well for you. Blind isn't super great for PvP. It could be okay for PvP defense, though, just because the people attacking you will be probably building their mons with crit rate and lowering their crit rate by 50%, and I believe it lowers the crit damage by 50% as well. That's really nice. Definitely really nice. So, yeah. Yeah, see, it says right there, blinded foes, critical hit rate, and damage are reduced. So yeah, it lowers both, which is good. It'll make sure it's kind of like an attack down, but only if they're critting you. Anyway, you can also use it for TOC, just for that stun. Stun in TOC is always good, especially for floors 80 and 1. Whoa, I did not know you can do that! Whoa, what button did I think, details. Okay. It is not my fault for not knowing this because it says details, and when you press it, it shows you no information. All it does is show the picture. That scared the shit out of me. I thought I broke my game. Well, here's a better image if you guys want to see. This is really cool to know. It'll be much easier for me to get proper images for my thumb shots, thumbnails, knowing that you can do this. I need a moment, okay? Okay, I'm good. Here's Water Sparkitt. It's an attacker. Here's the variant. It is super pink, super cute. All the ladies love him. But anyway, it's an attacker. And looking at its stats, it has really good HP for an attacker. Really good. And its attack is pretty good as well. Its defense is kind of bad, but that's fine, you know. His main point is doing damage, so his lack of defense isn't too big of a deal, especially because he is a Titan Mon, but we'll get to that in a moment. His skills on his 3-star, it's a 70% 2-turn blind. Books bring it up to 80% and give a 15% damage boost. And his 5-star is Courageous Strike. It is crit required, and skill books give a 20% damage boost. So because of the crit requirement, you're going to be building him with a crit rate gem, which isn't too bad because he is predominantly a damage dealer, so you're going to want to build him with crit anyway. And he is a Titan Mon, of course, because of that Courageous Strike. And so for your Courageous Strikers, I always recommend going... well, because he's crit required, I'd say crit rate attack for sure. Or crit rate attack crit damage. You can also go crit rate attack HP or defense if you want a bit more survivability. But I like to get survivability from trinkets. So if you can't do trinkets, crit rate attack HP or defense is fine. But crit rate attack, crit rate attack crit damage is the way I would go. And of course you would use him for your Fire Titan. Use him against Fire Titan. But because of blind, you can also use him for Light Titan, just because Light Titan has a 100% crit rate chance. So bringing that down to 50 is always nice. And there aren't a lot of good blind mons, so he's definitely a good one to use there. And yeah. Oh, you can also use him for Fire Colossus as well, just as a backup damage dealer, you know. But there are other mons that do better. His damage dealing skill isn't on his 3-star, so he's not ideal for Colossus, but he can still be used there pretty well. Now, onto wood. I really like the green here. And then here we have orange. So this is like a fall Sparkitt, you know, or autumn, whatever you like to call it where you're from. Anyway, I like the green more. But anyway, wood Sparkitt is a balance type, and for the stats, its HP is a little lower than I'd like, but its attack is a little higher. So kinda it balances out. I know I've made that joke before, but whatever. And his defense is good too. It'd be nice if the recovery was lowered a little bit more and like those points were distributed among the other stats, but beggars can't be choosers. And I do realize that I forgot to mention the leader skill. The leader skill is a HP lead, 30 to 35% all content. That's good for pretty much all the Sparkitt. You'd use it with the Fire Sparkitt for PvP defense if you don't have a stronger HP lead. You can use it for the Water Sparkitt on Titans, but offensive leader skills are more preferred there, like crit damage, attack, or crit rate. But HP leads are good there too if you don't have any of those other ones. And then for Wood Sparkitt as well, it's useful. HP leads are always useful. Anyway, looking at the skills, Elemental Edge is on 3-star, and skill books give it a 20% damage boost. And then 5-star is Attack Down, 60%, 2 turns. Skill books bring it up to 70% and give a 20% damage boost for that as well. Where I would use it, now this one's a bit tricky, just because its skills don't mesh too well together. Obviously with Elemental Edge you're going to want to use it for offensive content, but Attack Down is more for defensive mons. but it can still work. You can use it for PvP offense, where you can just nuke with the 3-star and then just not use your 5-star, or you can use it as a backup mon for your Titan teams if you don't have good wood attackers, and it also has that attack down to help you out as well. But of course, there are better things that you can do for your Titan teams than wood Sparkitt. But if you don't have anything else, which you most likely will, but if you don't, it's okay for that. But PvP offense is the place where you're going to want to use it the most. How I would build it, I would just build it like fully offensive, just so you can get the most out of that 3-star. So maybe like triple attack, attack, crit damage, crit rate, attack, crit damage, crit rate, attack. Whatever you can do to get its attack, its damage output on its 3-star as high as possible. Those are the recommended suggestions, I guess. But anyway, let's move on to light. We're going to try to keep this pace going. There we go. I really like the yellow, but I really like the blue. Damn. They're both cool. I like the blue. I'll go with the blue. Looking at its stats, it's an attacker. It has really good HP, just like water, bad defense, just like water, and really good attack, just like water. Its attack is higher than water's by a bit, though. I don't know about the others. The other ones are close, but I remember water's attack was like 3100, this one's 33, so it is a little better. But it is not as useful, and we'll get into why in a moment. Its skills are 3-star, shock, 100% on crit. Skill books give a 25% damage boost, and then 5-star, it is defense down 70% 2 turns. Skill books bring it up to 80% and give a 15% damage boost. And the reason why this one isn't, I don't think, as good as water is just because, unlike water, its skills don't mesh super well with where you'd want to use it. So with its shock, you'd want to use it on PvP offense, or TOC. Of course, TOC is a good option as well, because 100% CCs for TOCs is great. But anyway, for PvP offense, the defense down isn't super reliable, just because of its activation chance and the fact that your opponents will have high resist. But But yeah, like I just don't think shock goes well. I think its skills are better suited for a tanky mon. That's what I mean to say. Okay. Sorry it took so long to formulate my thoughts. But yeah, it definitely has the skills for a tankier mon, so if I were to use it, I would use it for PvP, but build it like more bulky maybe. You can use it for PvP offense, of course, just as a light damage dealer and for that CC, but it can also have potential for just being like a bulkier attacker, so like maybe crit rate attack HP or crit rate attack defense, because its defense is low, so it kind of needs that boost. But yeah, there's definitely some wiggle room with it. I just say water is better just because I'm a Titan guy, not a PvP guy. Well, I like PvP, but I prefer Titan. Anyway, we will move on to Dark, last but certainly not least, and definitely not, because Dark is probably one of the best of the Sparkitts. Here's the regular, here's the variant. This is the beluga whale of MSL, or the killer whale. Yeah. I'll go with the killer whale just because I like that joke. Anyway, it's a tank, and its HP is really good. Defense is good as well. Its attack is okay, but nothing crazy. And here's its skills. 3-star, it's morale boost for the team, 10%. Skill books bring it up to 15 and give a 15% damage boost. And on its 5-star, it is stun, 70% 1 turn. Skill books bring it up to 80 and give a 15% damage boost there as well. Where I would use it, definitely PvP. That is the main place you'd want to use it. It's Mons with morale boosts that boost the team are amazing for PvP. Very notably, Light Succubus, Light Persephone, Dark Sparkitt, of course. Who else has it? I believe Fire and Dark Cura do as well, I believe. And I'm not going to sit here and think about the other ones. But it is a really good skill for PvP. Dark Sparkitt, I believe, especially would be good for PvP defense because that stun is amazing. Be really good there, especially with the skill book boost to 80%. 80% AoE stun is always great. But you can also use it for farming for certain places. Just because it'll help your teams build up their SP bars faster if you don't have siphon gems for your team yet. So it can be very helpful there. I know I used my Light Succubus for that same thing before I got some siphon sets. So it's definitely a good option there. And how I would build, I would build HP defense, HP defense could also work. And definitely I would recommend healer set overall. I know I don't normally recommend sets because I do believe broken sets with good gems is better than complete sets with shitty gems. But if you can get a good healer set, this is definitely a good mon for that. Just because it'll be filling up its SP bar and its HP bar by 10% every turn, which is really good. And also, because it has morale boost on its 3-star, I know I don't like recommending Pugilist, but Pugilist would be good on it, so there is that as well. And yeah, how I would prioritize the Sparkitts. Personally, I would put water first, just because I think Titans is more important to me than PvP. So there's that. Yeah, that's the only reason there. And then second, I'd put Dark. I'm kind of split on Fire and Light for the third place. I don't know. I'd probably go with Fire, just because the 2-turn stun is better than a 1-turn shock. So yeah, I would go Water, Dark, Fire, Light, Wood. That's how I would prioritize them. If Titans isn't something important to you, then you can move Water Sparkitt down a couple places. But because it's important to me, I put it up front. But anyway, that is going to be it for the Sparkitt video. Good luck getting all the Sparkitts that you want. Don't forget, if you do plan to go for Fire, Water, or Light, make sure that they have a square slot before you Evo 3 them, because you do need it. Don't forget that. And yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Have yourselves a good day, and I'll see you guys all next time.